After frantically pressing the keystrokes, you watch in stunned amazement as the marble statues halt mid-strike. Their skeletal arms, rough and white like the bark of ancient trees, are frozen just 3 inches from your face. You let out a shaky, stress-relieving breath, clutching the fidget squishy attached to your device as though it's the only thing grounding you to sanity. Ducking beneath their looming forms, you press your back against the cool, jagged surface of the cave wall, your fingers kneading the squishy furiously as if to wring out every ounce of stress. The beeping sound of your device jolts you. Apprehension tightens your chest as your grip on the squishy hardens, the tension in your body threatening to spiral out of control. Slowly, you calm yourself enough to check it out. Relief floods through you as you read the message. Correct command entered. Escape the cave to continue. Sliding the device back into your sack, you glance around the dim cave, the flickering ball of light casting eerie shadows that dance across the walls. Despite being frozen, the statues still remain menacing. Their fiery glow from their eyes has softened to embers of greenish cools. Shuddering, you begin to feel along the rough surface of the wall, your hands skimming over cracks and edges. Your fingers stumble upon more braille letters carved into the wall of the cave. Fumbling through your sack, you pull out your braille cheat sheet and decipher the message. Use what you have to carve your way out.
Who writes these riddles?
You mutter, your frustration bubbling.
And why does this Lord Bacon want me to be a mage lord? Anyways.
You pace for a moment, flicking a small fidget switch in your pocket up and down as you think. The staff, the rune on the staff. You vaguely remember something from the cryptic instructions on that giant glowing screen as something about the Inkwell rune's powers. You find the raised embossed feather in the Inkwell rune and study it in the pale light cast by the ball of light. Was it your imagination, or was the light starting to fade? You blink a few times, rubbing your eyes as if that would sharpen your vision. No, it wasn't just your imagination. The glowing orb above you was definitely dimmer, its once brilliant radiance now flickering faintly like a dying ember. A cold wave of panic washes over you, and you instinctively clutch your staff tighter, its solid weight grounding you in the moment. The realization hits you like a thunderclap: if you didn't solve this riddle soon, you'd be plunged into complete darkness. Closing your eyes, you force yourself to focus. Breathe in, breathe out. But even with your lids closed, the fading light presses against your awareness, an unrelenting reminder of the dwindling time. The oppressive silence of the cave amplifies every small sound: the shuffle of your feet on the gritty floor, the faint hiss of your breath, the occasional crack of a distant droplet of water striking stone. You open your eyes and glance around. The orb's light now struggles to fill the spot where you stand in the cave. The once sharp shadows of the statues soften into a murky haze. Their grotesque forms blur and blend with the dimming surroundings, making it harder to gauge where they stand or if they've moved. Your pulse quickens, and your mind churns with the gnawing fear that when the light finally goes out, they might not stay still. You pace in a tight circle, muttering to yourself.
Think, what am I missing here? What could be the key to this problem?
Your hands fidget restlessly, brushing against the smooth runes on your staff. The Inkwell rune, the faint, nagging memory of its purpose teases the edge of your thoughts. Focusing on the staff, you run your fingers over the embossed Inkwell rune, feeling its intricate curves and grooves.
This has to be it.
Taking a deep breath, you press the rune firmly. The orb's light vanishes entirely, plunging the cave into total darkness. For a split second, the void threatens to swallow you whole, your senses overwhelmed by the suffocating blackness. Then, like a phoenix bursting from the ashes, your staff ignites in a bluish flame that flares to life. The ethereal fire dances along its length, casting an eerie glow that throws jagged, shifting shadows against the cave walls. For a moment, you're mesmerized by its otherworldly beauty. The fire dances along the staff's length, its flickering light revealing the statues once again are now fully illuminated. They're exactly where they were before, their stony arms frozen mid-reach. Relief floods through you. Time is running out. You can feel it in your bones. You press the fiery tip against the cave wall. It hisses and steams, melting the granite like wax under a flame. Grey smoke coils around you, acrid and thick, as you carve a hole into the unyielding stone. Your muscles strain as you push deeper until at last the staff pierces through to the other side. You then slide it through the wall into the shape of a circle. The section of wall begins to shimmer, glowing a deep ocean blue before dissolving into a fine, harmless dust that drifts gently to the ground. Bright sunlight floods the cave. You squint, shielding your eyes as you step through the opening and into a lush, vibrant jungle. The thick canopy of trees shelters you from the harsh midday sun, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. Sweet, heady floral scents mingle with the earthy aroma of damp soil. Birds call out from the shadows, their songs creating a symphony of wild energy. You glance around for the old shack, but it's nowhere in sight. For the first time in hours or maybe days you allow yourself to relax, the tightness in your shoulders easing. But just as you're beginning to appreciate the serenity, your staff flashes briefly, a new rune etching itself into the wood. After the light has gone, you trace the symbol of miniature stone wall. Feeling its strange texture, though metallic in appearance, it feels smooth and warm like polished wood. Determined to press forward, you use the staff as a makeshift white cane as Odyssey had taught you. Ducking under low-hanging vines and stepping over tangled roots, you marvel at the rich variety of life around you. Monkeys leap from branch to branch, their chattering playful and carefree, as if mocking your precarious situation. After trudging through the jungle's uneven terrain for what feels like an eternity, you come upon a wooden bridge. Its design is simple and functional. Rough planks, slightly warped by the humid air, span the stream. The wood creaks softly underfoot as you step onto it, the sound barely audible over the gentle burbling of the water below. You pause midway across the bridge, leaning slightly over the edge to peer into the clear stream. The water sparkles in the fragmented sunlight, revealing smooth stones and the occasional flash of silver as tiny fish dart through the current. The cool, earthy scent of the stream is refreshing, a brief reprieve from the dense jungle air. As you straighten and continue across, you don't notice the faint rustling in the undergrowth behind you, nor do you hear the rhythmic thudding sound, like heavy, deliberate footfalls, muffled by the bubbling stream. Your mind is elsewhere. Once you step off the bridge and onto the jungle trail again, the sounds of the stream begin to fade behind you, replaced by the oppressive quiet of the jungle. Something feels off. The cheery bird calls that had accompanied your earlier steps are gone, and the jungle seems unnaturally still. A low breeze rustles the leaves, but it feels cold against your fur, and your instincts prickle with unease. You pause, ears twitching as you strain to catch any sound beyond the whisper of the wind. Nothing, just the pounding of your own heart, a rhythmic drumbeat in your chest. Shrugging it off as paranoia, you adjust your grip on your staff and push forward, stepping over roots and weaving through the dense foliage. After a time, the jungle begins to change. The vibrant greens fade to a lifeless grey, and the air feels colder, heavier. The path splits whether one veering left, the other right. You hesitate, scanning the eerie, color-drained surroundings. From the left path, movement catches your eye. A flash of purple, heart-pounding. You grip your staff tightly, ready for whatever comes. A sleek small purple-furred creature dashes towards you, its black eyes glinting mischievously. Its wiry frame is offset by its unlivingly broad grin, stopping just short of you. It's a weasel, or at least something weasel-like, with a manic energy that sets your nerves on edge. You raise your staff, prepared to strike.
Yo boy, it's bad news for you.
Despite being small, it had a surprisingly deep voice.
Who are you? What do you want?
The creature throws its paws wide in mock enthusiasm.
Yo man, My name is Tweets. You need to get me more followers.
And you need to help me get famous.
it announces. As it speaks, you notice the plants around it turning grey, as if drained of light by its very presence.
What? Famous? What are you even talking about?
You snap. Baffled, Tweets narrowed his eyes, blocking your path with an exaggerated martial arts pose.
Ha 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 ha.
Desperate and unsure how to deal with this bizarre threat, you glance toward the other path, hoping for some sort of escape, but the jungle is silent. You're alone, trapped in this strange standoff, and the creeping grey of decay presses closer with every word Tweets utters. What will you do? Just as you were about to give up hope, you receive a message from your device. It simply states, run, fight, or ignore a cyberbully. Which choice do you pick? Please, write your answer in the comment box. Copyright Daniel Martin, all rights reserved 2025.